Good morning friends, welcome to the Sharekhan pre-market view. Yesterday Dow Jones started the day on a negative note on the back of some weak manufacturing data, but later on in the day some positive news on the housing data front which came in at a 10-year high provided some boost to the US indices, and they closed marginally positive around 0.5% to 0.8% positive. Moving over to the Asian indices are trading flat to positive today. The only notable thing was Japan reported its GDP numbers, which were 0.5 negative, which were more or less in line with the expectations, and the markets are not reacting much to that. Moving over to the India indices, yesterday we had a negative session around 0.5% to 0.6% negative, and SGX Nifty is currently suggesting that we are likely to open around 15 to 20 points higher. And on the FIs and on the flows front, we feel we have seen that FIs were biased to the tune of 142 crores, whereas DIs were biased to the tune of 182 crores in the cash market. Whereas on the FNO side, we see that FIs were net sellers to the tune of 600 odd crores. So now I'll hand it over to my derivatives expert to give you insights on the markets on the derivatives front.
Good morning friends, we'll give an analysis on derivatives. In yesterday's trading session, we have seen with positive cues from the Friday's trading session. We have seen on Monday's trade also Nifty opened with some kind of positive gains of around 10 to 12 points. Despite mixed cues from the international markets, however, just after the first few minutes of the trade, we have seen a sharp fall in a Nifty, mainly led by most of the sectors like automobiles, information technology, FMCG, and infrastructure stocks, and of course metal sectors, due to which we have seen Nifty nosedive in the negative territory and also posting around 80-90 odd points losses in the middle part of the trade. However, with the help of the banking sector stocks, we have seen Nifty inching higher, but it managed to close on a negative side of around 1% at 8488.05. Banking stocks were the major outperformers in yesterday's trade, especially in the PSU banking space, where we have seen a spectacular run-up due to the news in it. However, most of the other sectors were not able to participate, due to which we have seen Nifty closing in the negative territory. Now, the open interest terms, we have seen a reduction of around 2.5% in Nifty. That is around 4.03 lakh shares were shared in open interest. However, cost of carry also decreased from 5% to currently 3.5%, indicating some kind of long unwinding was observed by market participants in yesterday's trade. While in put call ratio, since we have seen a sharp pullback in put call ratio, which was a positive sign, but it didn't react it, as it took resistance at around 1 odd levels and have came down by around 5 odd basis point from 1 to 0.95 levels currently. In Indian volatility index, in line with the market showing a significant amount of volatility in yesterday's trade, we have seen volatility index have also edged higher by around 3 odd percent at 16.46 levels. Now the options activity, 8,600 and 8,500 call option have seen significant amount of addition in open interest. 8,600 call option have seen an addition of around 3.5 odd percent, followed by 8,500 call option, which has seen an addition of around 17 odd percent in yesterday's trade. While input option, it's quite obvious since we have seen a surprise downfall, as we were not expecting a downfall in yesterday's trade, seeing the sharp movement which we have seen in the Friday's trading session. We were not expecting a bounce back. However, due to a surprise fall, we have seen a significant amount of unwinding in put option. 8,500 being the highest, has seen a reduction of around 29 odd percent, while 8,400 put option has seen a reduction of around 11 odd percent. Now the highest call base have again shifted to 8,600 call option. 8,600 call option is the highest in terms of open interest, with around 51 lakh shares in it, while input option 8,300 strike price remains as the highest in terms of open interest. Now seeing the options activity, we feel unless and until 8,500, 8,550 is not crossed, we feel Nifty to take resistance at around 8,500, 550 odd levels. However, only major unwinding 8,500 call option can see a further trigger in the market in today's trading session. There is only one securities in bank period for today's trade, that is Amtech Auto. While in FIS terms, they were net sellers in index futures by around 600 odd crores. In index options, there were net buyers of around 550 odd crores, while stock futures net sellers of 37 crores. and stock options have a net sellers of 3 crores only. Our 5 days web stands at 8450 with a lower range at 8450 and higher range at 8600. 8450 on the closing basis remains as a crucial support for our market, so we have to watch out for the level on the closing basis. SX simply trading positive by around 22 odd points at 8505, indicating some kind of positive opening can be expected in today's trade. That's it from derivatives. Thank you.
Now let's have a look at some of the trading ideas for the day. The first trading idea is Tata Coffee. Current market price is 96. Government is considering allowing 100% FDI in rubber and coffee plantations. So companies involved in processing of rubber and coffee are likely to be allowed 100% FDI. So this is a major positive for the Tata Coffee, and we feel that long Tata Coffee with a stop loss of 94 for a target of 98.80 and 100.8. The next trading idea is Arcom. Arcom has said that it has shortlisted telecom firm, that is ATC, American Tower Corporation, and some of the private equity players like Carlyle, Blackstone, Farallon Capital and Tillman to buy buying up to 100% stake in its subsidiary, that is Reliance Infratel. So action to be taken is long Arcom. Current market price is 62. Stop loss should be kept at 60.7 for a target of 63.8 and 65.1. The next trading idea is Sun TV. Government has said that it is considering challenging the decision allowing Sun Group to participate in the auctions going ahead. So this is a bit of a negative for Sun TV. So action to be taken is short Sun TV with a stop loss of 371 for a target of 353 and 346. On the other news front, Naval Lignite is planning to set up around 600 megawatt solar power plant. Eicher Motors, that is Royal Enfield, has set up its direct sales subsidiary in US. CSA's average electricity tariff for FY16 to remain at 6.97 a unit as approved by the regulator, compared to a tariff of 7.55 a year ago. Asian Paints is planning to double its Rohtak plant capacity to 4 lakh kiloliters, planning to scale up the total capacity by 20% by FY 2016. Goldman Sachs has picked up a minority stake in Piramal Realty for around 900 crores. Coffee Day Enterprises gets SEBI nod for its IPO. IPO is worth 1150 crores. Cement prices are hiked by 15 to 20 rupees per bag in North India. FSCCI may not appeal against the Bombay High Court order on Maggi. Parliament may be reconvened for GST bill. Final decision is likely to come by this weekend. On the watch list front, stocks with positive bias are SBI, current market price is 280, Apollo Tyres, current market price is 193, and IRB Infra, current market price is 254. On the stocks with negative bias are Lance Capital, current market price is 346, and BPCL, current market price is 867. On the stocks for investment, we like L&T, current market price 1780. We like Aditya Birla Nuvo, current market price is 2297. We also like Tata Motors DVR, current market price 240. Infi, current market price 1142. And Ultratech, current market price 3082. That's it, friends, from all of us here. Thanks and have a nice trading session.